In 1951, in his writing The Rebel, Albert Camus said, "The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion." In his April 12th, 2016 article titled "Discipline and the Divine Madness," writer Paul Wagner, formerly of Operation Werewolf, wrote, and I quote, "My heroes have always been individuals whose lives were extreme, bordering on or fully immersed in obsession, passion, insanity, single-mindedness, utter hedonists or strict disciplinarians, libertarians or totalitarians. Give me madmen, musicians, martial artists, writers, murderers, but give me passion above all else." Passion. It comes from the Greek and Latin terms that mean to suffer, suffering, or pain. But does life always have to be pain and suffering? Why can't life just be fun, exciting, and be what you make it? To live with what some people would call madness, insanity, passion, drive, excitement, interest. The late Joseph Campbell said, "Follow your bliss. See where it takes you." Well, sometimes following that bliss may bring a little bit of pain, a little bit of suffering. But a lot of that pain and suffering, it either comes from within, your own doubts, or it can come from without. And the world always wanting to tell you how to live your life and how things should be done and what you can't do and what you shouldn't do. But history has never been made by those who just go along to get along. And people don't find their true potentials until they're backed into corners. And sometimes you have to back yourself in a corner. You have to put yourself into a challenging situation on purpose, just to see what you're made of and what you can make out of this life. Many of you are probably familiar with the saying on the internet. It's even a meme. It goes something like this: "Give me the weird, the black sheep, the rejects, the eccentrics, the loners, the losers, the oddballs, the rebels, the free spirits, and the outcasts." Well, I probably fit at least one of those categories. How about you? Are you just another cog in the machine? Are you just another member of society, another brick in the wall? Or are you being the true you that you are? Are you living your life and being who you want to be? I'm out here in nature, but it doesn't matter where you're at. You can be in a big metropolis. What really matters is, are you true to your nature? Are you the true you that you should be? Are you being honest with yourself when you go to die, whenever that is? Let's say you know you're dying on a deathbed, or as you just get older and you start thinking. And you can be a young person thinking these thoughts too. Do you ever wonder, at the end of my life, will I regret that I didn't work harder? Or will I regret that I didn't play harder and be more myself? Will you be proud that you went along with society and how they tell you to dress and how they tell you to live and how they tell you to think and what they tell you to eat and all these type of things? Or will you say, I really lived my life. I pushed it to the max. What's important to you? The difference between genius and insanity, they say, is a very fine line. And I think that we need more insane geniuses in this world. Creative geniuses. People that dare to think outside the system's box. The so-called educational system, which is just a propaganda system. Outside of the mainstream medical system or industry. Think outside the whole concept of politics and statism. Start thinking for yourself. Stop following the paths and the patterns other people have done and become a pathfinder yourself. Years ago, I made friends with a lot of tattoo artists. And so I got covered in tattoos, some of which I can't even show on camera on certain platforms. And I got a lot of tattoos that are politically incorrect. And I'm proud of them. I don't necessarily carry the same exact beliefs that I did when I got some of the tattoos. And some of my tattoos, people interpret the meaning of them totally different from what they mean to me. But I don't care. I love tattoos. I love piercings. I want to get more tattoos, more piercings. But most importantly, I love life. I like to dress the way I like to dress. Do with my body as I wish, whether I put into it or what I put on it. Jewelry, piercings, tattoos, whether they're politically incorrect or not. I like to be myself. I don't want to harm anyone else. But I can't help that something I may say or believe or display may offend you. But since when has that ever stopped you? So many run around trying to not be offensive to anyone. But people like me, they have no problem pointing us out and calling us names, saying we're ignorant, we're hateful, we're whatever. We're wicked, we're sinners. Because we don't see life the way they do. We see it meant to be lived, to be free, be wild and free. I've said it in my videos before, and I will always say it, that man was created to be wild and free. There's certainly nothing wrong with civilization and being civilized. But when being civilized is more about controlling you and making us all think the same way, dress the same way, believe the same things, eat the same shit, everything. Well, I say fuck that. Why do I have to think like you? Why do I have to look like you? All that matters is that I treat you with love and respect. And the only thing that I would like back from you is love and respect. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with everything that I say or I believe or I wear. But it's not going to stop me from being me. I make no apologies for my past or anything that I've done. There were some people in my past, many years ago, that I felt guilt about and I felt hurt. And I've long since made peace with that and forgiven myself, whether those people forgive me or not. If I ever ran across them, I would certainly ask them for their forgiveness. But I'm forgiven just the same. I don't hold it against myself. And I forgive others that have harmed me and done me wrong in the past. I want to move forward. I want to live my life. I'm over a half a century old. And I don't know if I'm going to live for another half a century, another 50 plus years. But it's not how long you live, but the quality of life that you live. What you get out of life. And I believe that you have to be just a little crazy. You have to be, it's like the Seal song about we all get a little bit crazy. We have to get a little crazy. We have to dare to think for ourselves. I believe in a world where people are free and people are able to be who they want to be, dress like they want to dress, display the symbols, and live the life they want, as long as they're not harming other folks. I believe in that. And I believe that's coming, and I believe that's birthing right now. And a lot of people who claim they believe in freedom, and they do to an extent, but maybe they need to kind of look into just exactly what freedom really is to them. Are they really open-minded to allow people to be themselves? It's just like, you know, if you want to dress the opposite gender that you are, what harm is that? The harm comes from when you want to shove your beliefs or what you want to do down other people's throats. Then I have a problem with that. And we're going to all have to start respecting one another more, and loving one another, and accepting one another for who we are. You know, I see a lot of open-minded so-called spiritual people on the internet and in videos. And there's always this one segment of people it seems politically correct to hate, to despise. And no, I'm not talking about white males, although that certainly is an issue. I'm talking about people who don't believe in certain things that we've been told to believe in. Certain so-called historical events, where a so-called certain million of people were done away with an anti-lice, a delousing agent. Some people don't believe the official story about what happened to President John F. Kennedy. Some people don't believe the official line of 9/11/2001, what happened at the Pentagon in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and New York City, the Trade Towers. There's people that have their beliefs about things. There are the people that believe in the flat earth. That's fine. If you genuinely believe in it, that's fine. There are people that believe the earth is shaped like a sphere, a ball, a globe. And that's fine, as long as you don't try to force other people to believe it. There are people who believe all sorts of things, and we need to allow them to believe those things, whether they're right or wrong, as long as they're not harming another person or their things. But to the system, it's like the quote I cited earlier in this video. Albert was right. You should be so different because you are different. You are divine. That your very existence to the goddamn system is an act of rebellion. Just your very life, the very fact that you live and exist, should be an act of rebellion. We are not meant to live as cogs and machines, as little widgets going down a conveyor belt in a factory. We are human beings, and I believe that we are all nodes of God, nodes of the consciousness of the universe, expressions of the overall all. And we are meant to experience our freedom and our liberty, to be who we are. I hear people talk about how they believe in freedom and liberty, but if you display a certain flag or a certain symbol, then oh my dear, they don't want you around. Our litmus test, if you will, should be, as long as a person believes in my freedom and everyone else's freedom to believe and do as they wish, as long as they don't harm another person or their things, that should be the only thing we require of one another. The only thing that we require of one another is that we respect one another's body and personal belongings and property. And other than that, you should be able to live your life as you wish. Be wild and be free. If you agree with this, thumb up the video if you feel like it. Share it if you feel like it. Or even better yet, make your own videos showing your face, expressing your freedom and your quirkiness and your weirdness, your wonderful weirdness, your colorful craziness, your loving looniness, and be who you are. And damn any ideas that come up from people saying you shouldn't act like that, you shouldn't dress like that, you shouldn't have those symbols. All that matters is that we love and respect one another. Don't, like I said, we don't even have to like each other, but love and respect. This is the law of nature. This is the highest metaphysical power in the world, the highest vibration, if you've ever heard about vibes, metaphysics and consciousness, is love. True, genuine love. Love yourself. Love what you do. Love the things you love. Love the people you love. And love your neighbor as yourself. And that's all that can be expected of you. But this new world that is birthing is going to be one full of people who are coming out of their shells and being them true selves. And being creative and inventive and discovering things. Being artistic, creative, but also innovative, engineering and designs, technology, health, things like that. All of these beautiful things that are discovered or developed. All of these things. When we start loving one another and stop looking for the dollar bill or looking for everyone to fall in a certain line. If you understand the message of this video, thumb it up if you don't mind. Share it if you feel like it. Or better yet, make your own videos expressing your thoughts. But to me, my very existence in this life is an act of rebellion. Because more and more I am discovering my freedom and my spiritual sovereignty and my natural sovereignty. The sovereignty of my spirit, the sovereignty of my body. And the more and more that I live that life and I refuse to submit, to succumb, to conform to things that I don't believe in, that insult my soul. And the more that I resist these things and just go forward in what I want to do and live the life I want to live, the happier I become. And everyone around me benefits from that because I'm a much happier person than I was many years ago. I was a very angry, frustrated person, and I still get angry and frustrated. I'm passionate, and sometimes I get pissed and angry and enraged. And I like that about myself. But I know my core and main state, mental state, is one of love and peace and harmony and joy. Something I've discovered in the last few years that years of Christianity and theology never gave me. Studying my Bible till the pages fell out and have to get a new Bible. All of these type of things never worked for me. Never gave me the true peace of mind. But when I began to understand the truth of consciousness as more and more humans are, I began to really love life. Yes, this world is shit. Fuck this world. Or fuck the system of this world. Now, I mean the world, the society. I don't mean the earth and the nature. I love that. But the old system is dying. Old systems are collapsing. And people are going to start being able to be more themselves. And there's going to be people to be able to share more of their inventions and discoveries and creativity. Whether it's in art, science, industry, technology, doesn't matter. Medical field, whatever. But people just being themselves. I love seeing people just being themselves when I'm out. Be yourself. Be free. Have a great day. Have a great life. Live it to its fullness. Don't let nobody, not even your own fears, stop you.